Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back. I am EBINOTTI, and today we're doing the new moon readings. What? The new moon? What? I know. We're behind. Full moon Capricorn, the second one of the season, just crossed us. So we are closing out new moon Cancer. Just in case you haven't been following along for this whole moon cycle, we have the fifth and final element today, the air element. And then it's finally a wrap on new moon Cancer. So we lag a little bit sometimes. It happens. What's wrong with having our own timeline? Tell me. Because when you embody sovereign energy, which we've been talking about for a while, think of the monarchs, the kings and queens, the sovereigns of the planet, okay? They don't walk around on anyone else's timeline. And I'm not saying, if you're not familiar to the EBINOTTI tribe and our whole vibe here, I'm not saying walk around all high and mighty. That's not what that message is about. The message is about slowing down. If you're lagging a little bit, don't beat yourself up about it. Just go with the timeline that you're on because it's important. One, it's already where you're at, so you might as well accept that. There's no point in resisting and worrying and feeling stress and fear around that when it's already where you're at. And two, there might be a reason for it. And that's what we always look for, is the why. Is there a reason, a synchronicity, some kind of alignment for us in that we're going slower than everybody around us, or than the collective seems to be going right now, or, you know, everybody is fully into fall already and we're still like barely started summer. That's kind of how it's been feeling a little bit here, being that we're just wrapping up the new moon Cancer and we actually just crossed into Leo season, so we're not even in Cancer season anymore. Okay, so for the air signs out there, especially, you know, I'm talking to you, Aquarius, but I'm not going to like call you out like that. We're just going to talk to the air signs. To the air signs out there, I know that you don't expose weaknesses first, that you don't usually just confess all of the errors before you even get into what you came here to do. Trust me, I grew up with an Aquarius big brother. I get the message, but there is something very important coming through for the collective in that message. And it's one, the acceptance and surrender. That's always going to be a thing. But two, we discuss feminine energy out here. Air element, that's a masculine element. Okay, that's masculine energy. But the softness and the gentleness and the compassion that comes into somebody, embarrassing themselves, exposing their weaknesses and all that right out the gate. It's like, no, too much honesty. And the air elements, the air signs for the most part have mastered this, but there's the message in it for all of us that humility is a sense of strength, and understanding that, you know, we're just trying to be upfront and honest. And if that's the best that we've got in the moment or in the setting or today, then that's okay as well. It doesn't demean who you are. There was such a strong, I had like a bunch of stuff to do before I was going to get into this and hit record. And 3-4 times it just kept coming up like, oh, all these messages got to hit record. By the time I got to the fourth one, it was like, okay, fuck it. We need to sit down and we need to discuss clearly what the hell's going on with air. And it's always this way. So again, for the noobs, if you're new to this collective, we've discussed this quite a bit. I'm a Pisces, so air is my challenge element, meaning of the 5 elements that we fuck with on a day-to-day in the third dimension, that's the one that I struggle with. It's also the place where I found my greatest strength. What am I doing? I'm sitting here talking to you, communicating the messages, the whole philosophy and vibe of EBINOTTI. And I'm doing it honestly. And that comes from that air element being in alignment. So in my greatest weakness, and it is a constant challenge, just because I've mastered one of my weaknesses doesn't mean it's not constant challenge. So that's the message. To hit the wall, to hit the challenge, and to be able to overcome it. There's a part of ourselves right now that's getting in the way of something that we want. You know what I mean? You want compassion and gentleness, and you want people to understand you, but then you're out there with all that like super, I keep hearing brusque energy. What a weird word to choose. Yeah, sure. Brusque energy. That's like being prickly. Now they're calling it crunchy. You got crunchy energy. So that's just a message for the air signs and for those working with the air element, having any kind of challenge in communicating, exposing themselves, embarrassing themselves, getting the job done when it comes to producing from, you know, the upper chakras. That's what it is. The challenge is just you don't want to have that compassion for yourself, and it's easier to look out and see all of the reasons for that on display in front of you. Welcome to the mirror. Because it's not just the black mirror out here. The universe is a pendulum. It always swings in balance. That's the original mirror before we got the black mirror to project anything magic, black magic that we wanted back at us, right? Like I was just saying to Babe over breakfast, because that's how we roll. I was just saying to Babe over breakfast, like, isn't it so crazy to think of the way that technology has interfered with us now, in the sense that, let's just say, you could reset all of the corruption, perversion, abuse that we talk about, right? Like all that fucked up parasitic energy in the realm. Imagine you could reset it. Bang. How much of the stuff that's parasitic is yours now? I was like, damn, how am I going to give up my Nescafes? That's like, there's nothing real in that. This shirt, polyester. It's plastic, you know? Shit. How are we going to get some of the things we really genuinely love? Like, how are you going to give up sugar, hybridized wheat, cheese? There's just so many fucked up things, and maybe those aren't your things. Maybe those aren't even relevant, and they're not even the things. But catch the message. Do you know what I mean? Don't stick on the detail of it. Go with the vibe of the message, because the message is some of the parasitic shit out here in this realm we really love, though. The convenience, the flavors. Oh, don't even get me started on flavors and fragrances, my friends. Oh, fuck. Here she goes. Okay. On that lovely note, because like I said, I started this way before I was ready, but it was time to sit down and discuss. One, cheers to you. This is my Nescafe. It's literally, I didn't even think about it when I said it. Nescafe, baby, sweet and creamy. I want to celebrate though, because I've been wanting to plant raspberries in my little backyard here since last season. And this season, it was like, I'm going to do it. And I still haven't done it. And I'm looking out my fucking window. I shit you not, 2 raspberries out there. I did not plant them. I didn't know they were there. Like, so in the vein of just being so in humility and away from ego, like my shadow is so fucking integrated right now. We're besties. We are having the best of times. Because it's all adults right now, you know. Do you know what I mean? We've talked about in this moon cycle. Wow, if you're new and this is the first video you ever found, it's just going to be such a funny introduction to the collective. But if you stay after this, you're one of us. You know what I mean? Like, you are just fucking one of us. So we've been talking a lot about the shadow work and the inner child, so how they work together, and the inner child can heal the shadow and integrate it, bang, so fast. But all of a sudden, because we did so much of that inner child work together over the last 2 moon cycles, now it's like only adults. That means the shadow is only talking to masculine, feminine right now. So all the adults are sitting at the table, baby's in bed, man. Like, the inner child is safe and sleeping and dreaming and imagining and all the wonderful things. Now it's time for the adults to sit down, and because the shadow's integrated, it's fucking giggles and belly laughs and some serious shit all around. So it's a really good vibe out here. I'm loving where the air element is taking us today. I have to tell you, the wind has been wild today. It's been, and if you're watching this when it comes out, I think it's the 23rd or 24th of July. You already know the planet's going absolutely nuts with the storms and stuff coming from the earth, and then stuff in the atmosphere just going wild. So the wind up here in northern British Columbia, Canada, it's wicked today. I was outside jumping rope while Zach was in the yard doing stuff, and it was just like blowing, and it actually felt good. So again, the wind has been something I have always been challenged with, and maybe that's a big message for you. You might need to just get wind through the chakra system. Like, if there's some strong wind that you can get into, and it's like coming off the atmosphere, not just like standing in front of a fan because it's fucking hot, but hey, whatever works, man. You can really get air into, this is kind of new to me. Maybe this is how you work, and you can give us some more tidbits, but the hack here is just letting air come in and just whip through the whole system. So we've talked about using air to clean up the channel system, and that's another message coming through, is making sure that all the channels, so any way that you reach outside of yourself through any of the chakras now, because we've discussed it in the upper chakras in communicating, I don't know why I said it like that, in communicating with, you know, other ancestors and our spirit team and our elementals and all the things, right? Communicating in the uppers. Now we're going to bring it all the way back down to the root and the sacral chakra, which is getting air all the way through the channel system, even the things that we desire, anything that we cast, okay? We're going to understand magic now in a very new way. So another one of the things that was coming through, and then we'll get into cards here pretty quick, was the programs that I'm going to be launching this year under the umbrella of EBINOTTI as a brand, because the softness that was coming in for the air signs specifically was just like, oh my God, we are feminines. That's the energy that we read for, regardless of what you are or identify as. But we are feminines, and we read for the, you know, homogenous balance of masculine and feminine in however we come together as partners, friendships, businesses, and all the things that we build from. You need both, right? And it was so, because air is masculine, it was just such a gentle, almost sad. It was almost a sadness in how badly somebody, this is a message for you now, how badly somebody around you needs your compassion, your gentleness, or how badly a part of you, especially if you're a masculine and you're embodying air energy or fire, like for reals, especially if you're a masculine and you're feeling that, that's what's lacking. What's lacking is feminine compassion for some things that you probably don't think are very big, don't discuss very often, put a lot of fucking time into dealing with though. Do you know what I mean? Put a lot of fucking time to dealing with all your life kind of thing. All your life kind of thing. These habits that we have, the mundane, you know, routines that we have to feel presentable, to feel on our game, to feel socially accepted. That's the shit I'm talking about. So there's some inner child work for some of the masculines out there. And that doesn't mean that the females aren't working on that as well. If that message calls to you, it's the masculine inside of you that needs that compassion from the feminine to just be like, yo, dude, we just wax it. Or like, yo, dude, you don't even gotta wax it. You can just leave it. It's not as freaky as you think. Or it's like not, you know, it's not the thing that you think. We hyper focus. Big message coming in for the air element, okay? This is message for the collective now. Anyone working with the air element, we hyper focus on the things that are imperfections because air sees truth so clearly. It only sees that truth. It can communicate and understand that truth very quickly. So we get all messed up in our third dimension out here as humans because the higher self can understand all the wisdom. Implementing it as a human, totally a different vibe, okay? So it's like understanding that the things that we hyper focus on as our imperfections, especially physical imperfections, not the things that we think they are, okay? You can't take something from childhood and youth, like the teen years, especially 13 to 16, the first 3 years of high school. You can't take stuff from way back then and bring it into adulthood without filtering it through the adult consciousness now. Masculine, feminine, shadow wants to talk on it. Shadow wants to be like, nah, let your freak flag fly. And if you're letting it go and letting all kinds of weird hair and shit grow, like all the power to you, even though naturally, you know what I mean? If you're like one of the we are hairless and slick out here, naturally that's going to bring up feelings of likely disgust and, you know, insecurity and all the things, the shadow that come from that, but real emotions, okay? So be real about who and what you are, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you want to do it this way. It doesn't matter if you want to do it that way. And this is not just a message about beauty being in the eye of the beholder. I mean, authenticity shines first and foremost out here right now. If you love it, others will love you for it, whatever the thing is, okay? So that's where that one's staying. Okay, and we are going to pick our oracle cards now. First deck out is going to be the Dragon Oracle. All of my collection of cards, oracle and tarot, are listed down in the description box. If you are interested, do check that out. I really don't know who's going second. Usually we can pick out both, but let's start with the dragons, and then I'm sure we'll figure it out. Weird shuffles today. A little, what's the word? Cautious, overly cautious, a little hesitant, is the word I'm looking for here. Ooh. Okay, 2 come out, and we have seen them, 3 come out. We're just going to peek at those 3. Look how beautiful those colors are. And then just white. Then it's just white dragons from there on out. Excuse me. We haven't cut the deck or anything, so we cannot take any of those cards. But for whatever reason, they wanted to come out. This shirt's going to drive me bonkers. Now that I'm like obsessed, just today. If you don't know my background in fashion and all that jazz, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But just today, I'm like obsessed with fabric. What am I wearing? What is it? Like, what I need to know now. So I'm opening tags on everything. I'm looking at fabric content on everything. And this is the shirt for this moon cycle. So it needed to be worn, but it's going in the closet. It's never coming out again after this. I can't stand polyester. And I've always felt that way. Even studying fashion, I didn't let myself go to that like elitist mentality, but we're fucking in it with the elitist mentality now. It's like, no, I don't like it. I don't want it. No, I don't eat that. No, I'm not about that. No, I'm not coming. I don't do that. You know, it's not even trying to be an asshole. It's just like, no. And if you love me and know me and respect me, you're going to have to know I don't do that. I don't fuck with that. Okay, going back to the programs, what I was saying about the programs, because we're divine feminine, we read for the divine feminine, we work with that energy. That's what the programs are based in, that kind of alignment. It's not just all mushy mother energy out here. It is all the aspects of feminine and the power and the energy. And what happens when you align it, you activate the power centers, your own gifts, you know, your own strengths, and then your actual weaknesses, which are just something to be accepted. The weaknesses that were made to develop strengths are not fucking weaknesses. They're just keyholes. If you don't know about your birth chart, your whole birth chart will show you exactly what your challenges are. Simple as that. Okay, let's just cut this. We shuffled enough and then cards started flying, so we might as well just go for it. Deep blue dragon on the bottom. Look at that beautiful fire energy. Keeps you safe by clearing your path. You see how he's breathing fire. Clearing paths out. Deep blue because it's coming from the throat chakra, right? Like breathing fire, clearing your path. You might need to get some stuff off your chest here. We're going to see with the air element. The upper chakras, the throat chakra, and the third eye. You know what I mean? We're going to see what needs to be gotten off your chest here. Some of us just need to let it go. You know, we just need to let go of some of the things that are as far back as high school and youth. It's like, just let it go. You don't feel that way about yourself, and it's not even the truth anyways. On the bottom for the reading, fire and water. Fire and water, masculine and feminine. Again, more fire energy. Enables your life to flow with loving force. I love the balance of fire and water. Zach and I are Aries and Pisces, so that's an energy I work with quite a lot. Prepare for change and to move forward quickly. You got that prep energy? Expect the unexpected and have fun. That's all the vibes. Expect the unexpected, have fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be unexpected. So it's gonna be wild, and you're gonna need to be prepared, which means in alignment and activated when it's go time. Bang, off the start line. Okay. Here's a dragon we haven't seen for a hot minute. I almost forgot this dragon was in the deck. When was the last time we saw this? My God. Thor's red and gold dragon. Red, black, and gold dragon. I like the trifecta there. Protects you in times of change. Again, breathing fire. I'll show you him again in a second. A time of rapid transition and transformation. I shit you not, it's going to be fast. Relax. You are safe. Relax, you're safe. It's like, okay. The first one we saw was breathing fire, the deep blue dragon, breathing a path of fire to clear a path. Now here we're talking about nothing but speed, protection, safety, fun. When you are aligned to who and what you truly are, all of you is active. And yet, you can be completely relaxed. Think of the lion. Think of the dragon. These are the animals that don't stretch before they go into battle. I love it. What a message. Powerhouse messages out here today. Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'm going to light the incense for us since we are doing fire so heavy. If you hear anything in the background, it's just Babe talking about fire. He's out there in and out doing yard work and stuff. Bam. Okay, let's see. Who else are we doing? Who else are we doing? You know who we're going to do, because I just love her so much. We are going to do the Return of Spirit Oracle by Cheryl Lee Harnish. The reason I always mention her name is because she's also Canadian and she made these decks. And she's also a YouTuber. So she's out here on YouTube doing free readings just like we are. I highly recommend you check her out. I will try my best to remember to link her down below so you can go check out her readings. I'm just looking in the background to see if Babe's going to actually pop up in this video. Baby! Since Kiwi popped up in the last one, my kitty, she like never comes when I'm reading. And she just would not stay out of it. She was having all kinds of fun playing in boxes and things like she knows she's not allowed to do. Not that box anyways. She's got countless boxes that are hers. You know, towers of boxes, castles of boxes. And she insists on going in the one box she's not allowed to go in. Because she knows I'm filming. Naughty, naughty. Okay, we're just fucking all over the place. Air all over the place. So if you're going to speak without filtering like we're doing, we're kind of just channeling through all the messages. Bang, bang, let's just get them out. Do be careful. Make sure you got humility locked in, because you're probably going to say all kinds of shit and then be like, what? Or come out of it like within a 12 to 36 hour period. You come out of the open, no filter, la la la. Whether it's like, you know, crazy joyous or rage, and then you snap out of it and you're like, what the fuck was that? Manage your integrity. First message coming out is our bottom of the deck as we shuffle and get our oracle, our second oracle card for this reading. Integrity. Cuckoo with the owl eyes there. So all of these images are sacred geometry and mathematics and artistry by the artist, and that's why I love. She actually has 3 decks and I have them all. True story, they were the first cards I ever got for myself. And that's how I started, was reading oracle cards. And then I learned the tarot, and the rest is history, as they say. So maybe you're being called to, you know, learn cards, or you have a curiosity about the systems and how it all works and what it's all about. Maybe you don't want to read cards. You just want to know. Be in the know. Okay, we got 2. Gifted and shifting. Fuck. And on the bottom of the deck, the violet flame. The reason I say fuck is because this level of healing comes from the deep wounds and fears and all of what was caused around that. This feels generational. This feels cosmic. And that level of healing is so far from fun right now. So we're like, ooh, we will talk about it as we need to talk about it. First, I saw gifted with the purpose. And this is a lot of what we have to heal. And a lot of the things that have been suppressed, and a lot of where that pain comes from, is the suppression of our honest to God, gifted, talented, wonderful selves. So if you see the reflections and the mirrorings, this to me has always signified how the world reflects back to us, and how negative and positive, dark and light reflect each other. Okay, so again, as the feminines, it's our job to process, you know, the life and death cycles. That's our job. That's what we do. You can see the booty. Yeah, that's how I see it. Okay, we also got shifting, which is great. That's feeling very like, woo, frequency. I think because I'm going to put gifted across from Thor and then bring him out to discuss the shift. If you remember, Thor protects you, Thor's red, black, and gold dragon, so the god of thunder, protects you in times of change, a time of rapid transition and transformation. This is the type of transformation, the shift. the frequency shift. The opening, it feels a lot like an opening, which means there was a closing or there is a closing coming for some of us. Tower's been kind of looming in the background of all the downloaded messages I've been giving. Tower has been looming in the background as an energy. So we'll see what kind of shift this is and how safe and fun and relaxed we can be through this process. It's really going to come down to each of our, you know, specific journeys and healing and the things that we're working on, and also what we're working with. You know, we are the bloodline, we are what we are who we are. That's a big part of it. And for some of us, it's just the acceptance to be able to see clearly exactly what we are, you know, and there's going to be a lot of power to be had in that. It's all masculine energy here. This is feeling just very masculine, the shift. So we'll keep shifting over here with Thor. Thor's dragon. Oh, the nose is itchy now. Yeah. Okay, time to pick a tarot deck, I say. It's weird. Usually the cards aren't this kind of hard to settle on. It's not really like, ooh, this one or that one, because they're both calling. It's like right now I'm just kind of looking, I'm like, humdrum, ha ha, ha, kind of a feeling. It's like, okay. Feeling a little dull. So I'm going to go with the familiars because of that. The tarot of the familiars. I love bringing in the familiar animal spirit guides for this kind of energy, or any kind of energy that feels anything other than spectacular. We can learn so much just by the energy of specific animals. So if you're working with that type of energy, the personalities or archetypes of the animals out here in nature, and that could be anything, it does not have to be an animal. But the animals really are, you know, showing us how to do it, what to focus on. So if you find yourself observing or really interested in any type of animal, check out, you know, what your thoughts on that personality are. Or if you don't know, then like give it a day or two and listen for the messages, and you'll learn about what that spirit guide, that animal spirit guide is trying to tell you, because there's something in there for somebody out there. Okay, the familiars. Ooh, Major Arcana 21, the world. Everything about this is kind of just like, what do we got? What do we got? You know, it's got this like, oh God, what is it? Type of energy, which is like, okay, gifted and shifting is nothing to be afraid of, but all the dragons so far have been like just blowing hot fire and like really popping off and saying nothing more to you than you're safe. There's no need to pop off right now. Fascinating. A lot to be done, a lot of opportunities. Don't get distracted with all that energy. If you're going to be hooting and hollering, you're not going to hear or see much. Okay, that's the thing about that type of energy. We got two. Ooh, first and foremost, Major Arcana, Nada, the Fool card. Fearless, beautiful energy, and feeling a little bit like relaxed. There's always shit going down around the Fool. The Fool is always in the center of it. It's always like a la-ta-ta, very independent, but it's feeling kind of rogue here because it's so relaxed. It's like, have you forgotten? You know, that's why the preparation energy was there. Was like, do be prepped though. I feel that energy myself right now because I'm just like laying around doing nothing and, you know, feeling like, oh, I'm so lazy. I'm not even, you know, getting this or that done or blah, blah, blah. And then I realize what I'm doing. I'm not lazy. I'm processing. I'm strategizing and outlining and breaking down and all the things. I'm manufacturing like 150% right now. So it's like, don't forget what you're doing. You're putting massive amounts of work into things. You don't have to think about it, but don't be down on yourself thinking you're not doing anything if you're doing stuff. Second card out, the 8 of Earth. This is the mastery, but this is the hard work, you know, like this is the finishing of, think like the PhD program. This is the final leg of the race when it comes to the mastery programs. Okay, so working at it, working hard. Like I said, don't think for 1 second that it's lazy, stagnant, sedentary energy, no matter what the fuck you're doing right now. Maybe healing is the main thing that needs to be done, right? For some of us, because we've talked about that before. And with earth energy out here, it's like it could be the body. A lot of us are manifesting money, dream homes, and lifestyles, and bodies and things like that. And it's all up from here. So that's why earth comes out in that way. Because we're going to speak it true, right? And fearlessly. That's what the Fool teaches us. At least if you're going to... He doesn't say much, the Fool. He's off with his little fucking... He's always off. But if he's going to say something, he's going to say something true. And fearlessly. Let's not forget that. Okay, central energy. I can see him. And we got 2. The King of Wands. Wow. Sorry, the Knight of Wands centrally. So again, this is like why all the dragons came out saying like, shit's gonna move quick. No one's more prepared for whatever the fuck kind of storm, war, battle, siege than this knight. Because he wants it. Because he's built for it. And he knows that this is his war. The war that, like Achilles, right? He knew that his mom even told him, because she was a seer, like, this is going to be the one. You know, you can do it or not do it. But if you want the thing you've always said you wanted, historical, you know, name references, bam, this is how. So this is the moment where you get to decide, which means you want to decide. 4th card out, and the 4th card of the major arcana, the Emperor. This is our divine masculine. Look at the fucking mastery coming out here. It's like, damn, that's all the kings. All the elemental kings, he rules over them. The Emperor. Okay, so this is the king of the earth. You know, that's that energy there. And that's the type of wisdom. And if you see, what has he got between his antlers? The high priestess energy of the new moon. So it's a balanced masculine, okay? So for those of us, again, struggling with our ambitions and our masculine energy and all that shit just being a little too rigid, that's the feminine coming in to be like, oh, you see her? That's the feminine coming in to be like, don't worry, baby, I got you. Don't worry, you got this. You're the king of kings, baby. All that good stuff. This stuck to the deck, so we're taking it. 5th and final card out before we clarify. The 2 of Cups. So... that's the love. That's the counterparts. You see my lovers up in here behind the door? That's the energy of the counterparts, the soulmates. So for those of us wanting love, there it is, available. Look no farther than the alignment of the feminine to find an actual masculine who is your counterpart. Okay, you got to align your feminine to be able to let in the masculine, to find the masculine, to recognize all the things. Okay, let's get our clarifiers. This is just too much fun today. You see how our central energy is fire, and then one of the best cards on the deck is water. So fire and water coming out in that balance, just like it showed us it would. Indeed. Fire and water said enables your life to flow with loving force. Ooh, he does love to be loved, this one. Maybe a little too much when he goes dark, because he's a bit of a tramp. Knight of Fire can be a little, not, that's how the feminine looks at it, trampy. Because he's not looking for anything long-term because he already committed to his mission. He can't commit to that. That's the honest one speaking, okay? Let's clarify. Let's do this. I want to get back to my X-Files. What? Yes, that is the one I am on right now. We talk a lot of cinema and I just don't give a shit. We love it. Talk a lot of movies, a lot of TV, a lot of books. And right now, starting yesterday-ish, it's the X-Files. Never really watched it. It was a little before my time, just a smidge. Obsessed. I'm already obsessed. I'm on season 1, episode 5, and I'm like, fuck yeah. Episode 1, I always give a show a pilot episode to see if it's any good. Soon as I was like, oh, let me just see if there's something I can watch. First episode, I was like, yo, let me get some popcorn. Let me get something comfier on. Get all my notebooks around me. Get the bed tray on the bed so I got everything I need. And it was go time. And I watched like 4 or 5 episodes last night. So I'm very much so looking forward to getting the job done today so I can get back to it. Okay, talking about compassion, loving yourself, and having a good time. We got the Queen of Cups to clarify. Our first card out, the Fool. So fearless and feminine is very compassionate. When her son, the queen of whatever, the Water Kingdom, her son comes to her and is like, I need to go on my mission. Remember in the beginning of the Hercules Disney movie, he's like, I need to go. And they were like, okay, baby. They give him a little thing and they're waving with their little thing out the window. Bye, baby. Good luck. We hope we see you again sometime soon. That's the release. That's the acceptance. That's that queen shit right there. That's how you master water from the feminine perspective. Being fearless is a masculine energy. Okay, and so many of us females have mastered that aspect of masculine energy, but we can't do the feminine for if we're being honest. Let's just be honest. Let's just be clear. I don't know what the fuck. We're channeling everything and everybody today. What a vibe. It's good though. We need some community up in here. You know, some of us who are extroverts are really suffering since the pandemic. People are talking about it, right? Being lonely. And then for the introverts, it's like, damn, even I'm lonely. So you guys must really be suffering. Why are there so many cards? Okay, we got it. So I can see some, but we're going to start right here with our second clarifier, 8 of Pentacles, being clarified by the Queen of Fire. So we got 2 queens side by side. They're looking like this, under this. So, again, fire energy coming up and being super relevant. Fire and water imbalance being super relevant when it comes to this mastery and this hard work. Being compassionate, giving yourself a moment to celebrate the things that you've accomplished. Embracing the parts of you that are shiny and new and not new at all for some of us. It's like really embracing the part of you that you love. There's a little ego wrapped up in that, but that's okay. You know, we've been lacking self-love and self-appreciation for so long, and compassion in this way for our accomplishments and our honest to God hard work, you're allowed to be a little shitty with it sometimes. You're allowed. You'll get, you know, forgiveness and understanding from the people who are better at this than you are. We're going to be real when it comes to the masters today, okay? So we're mastering things here, especially the balance of fire and water, and that's just the fucking truth of it. We're also accomplishing things that we need to have good look-see at, because they are real accomplishments, and it is important. Under the Knight of Wands, this is how we're going to do it, because they both came out to clarify our central energy, the Knight of Wands. We get the King of Wands and the World card again. You remember that was our bottom of the deck to get the reading started with tarot. End of the major arcana. So what we have here, when you really look at it, is the accomplishment of a whole line of defenses of a kingdom. What? It's like we have the father or the king, we have the son or the knight or the warrior, and we have the accomplishment, the check mark of approval. This is getting, you know, all of the good feelings from the elders saying you did it, you accomplished it. This can come up in a lot of different ways for the collective, especially because we read for the feminine. It's like, oh, this could be happening to your partner, your brother, your son, your father, the elders, the patriarchy around you, the masculine within you. Okay, for a lot of us, I'm feeling the masculine within us really ready and raring to go. But the mastery here, because the King of Fire, he's much more balanced in the element because he has mastered it, whereas the Knight is like just the best at it. Achilles was not the king, and the king was all kinds of like out of balance and out of whack, like a lot of the fucking leaders today are, but Achilles wasn't the king, he was the Knight. So here, this is everything in tandem. It's even an accomplishment and a from the All-Father, you know, that kind of energy. Good job. Why did I read this as king when it's page? Yikes. That's a whole, you know, that's a whole nother other. So what the first message coming off of that is when the kids start becoming the kings, and it's like, whoa, we could really go into that for like a hot second, because the new leaders are always going to be the children when their time comes. So there's like a whole cyclical energy coming off of this, especially because the world is about those cycles. So for some of the elders out here, it's time to realize that they're not fathers anymore, they're elders, and pass the torch down to the son, who is now in father energy or warrior knighthood, and then pass down because the grandbabies are already here. So we've not moved the timeline down one yet. It's like everyone's holding on to what they got instead of passing the torch. So there's an energy of closing and opening new cycles here, and that's just the truth of it. Fascinating. Okay. And then we have our last 3 cards before we get into bottom of the deck, which is the 9 of Swords, air energy. Okay, let's just see them. Major Arcana 1, the Magician, the 4 of Cups. Oh, Fuck me. And the Tower. Saw that one coming. Didn't we call that shit? Okay. So let's do 2 and 1. Bam. 2 and 1. So the Magician and the Emperor together, boom. That's all the magic, all the power, all the energy, especially when it comes from the, I was going to say the masculine. I was trying to say the masculine. I was going to say the feminine. So here is the balance, because all 4 elements are wielded by the Magician or the Alchemist, okay, or the Emperor, because the Emperor is all 4 of the kings, the elemental kings in one, right? So getting to know yourself and your power when it comes to your elemental chemical balance, the who and what you are. This is authenticity and massive amounts of power. So we talk about alignments. This could be all of the responsibility coming to you and you feeling crushed by the crown because you are expected to produce at the level of the expert of the kingdom now. And you're like, wait, shit, I'm still just the baby. And they're like, you're not a fucking baby. You're a knight. What are you talking about? Overnight kingdoms move into, the teenagers become kings sometimes out here. And that's just how she goes. So the final message, clarifying our 2 of Cups, the Tower and the 4 of Cups. It's like, yikes, that's not good. But yes, it is. And do you know why? Because we've already talked about mirroring. What happens when you mirror the 2? You get the 4. So here we have a beautiful type of mirroring. No matter which way you split it, all 4 means 4 corners, 4 elements. We talked about the Magician and the Emperor. The Emperor's number 4. The Magician or the Alchemist has all 4 elements. He is the 4 elemental kings. This Tower that is crumbling any kind of inner circle relationships. Remember what he said? Relax. Just relax, baby. Have fun. Everybody's saying the same thing. Relax and have fun, because this is bringing you exactly the thing about air is like the truth will set you free. You can handle the truth. Think all the sayings we've had over the just our lifetime about truth. Okay, and it's like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can handle the truth. Remember, the dragons told you, fire and water, baby. You got this in the biggest way. Because if any kind of tower is coming into this, not only is it only ruining false relationships, it's doubling up all the good ones. If you felt like the partnership you had really discontented you, really wasn't it, was just not enough, or it just never felt in alignment, it always felt out of balance in some way, this will clarify all of that for you. The Tower is a fated event. It's usually quite shocking because you don't see it coming. We see everything coming though, don't we? Even in hindsight, we're like, damn, I felt that in my body. Or my heart chakra was telling me that all along. My guts, were telling me that all along. That kind of thing. We really do see it in hindsight if we didn't see it ahead of time. So, expect the unexpected is, to say the fucking least. Okay, we're not even going to sugarcoat this message even a little bit. I would expect the ultimate, I just heard, the war of a lifetime. But this is about everything you ever wanted, inheritances and power and everything you ever dreamed of and everything that you are coming to the surface. Remember that gifted shit? That also means some really harsh truths and realities about who and what we are and where we come from. That's probably our people being involved in that, and that's okay. You can die with shame and all that stuff if you want to, but you can just accept it is what it is. Married to a serial killer kind of vibes. We're gonna get the fuck out of here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out today. I really hope you enjoyed this reading and got everything you needed out of it, especially when it comes to that alignment lifestyle. Alignment. Anyways. Deep breaths. We've been talking about the breath work now for a while, but if you missed any of those messages, the breath, mastering the breath of fire, we've been just working on it. So make sure you check out the channel. Hang out for a while if you want to. Check out other videos. There is tons of content out here that you can have the most fun with today and do some serious work with if you want to. that's a wrap on new moon Cancer, and it's about fucking time, isn't it? Air, isn't it time? We're gonna get into full moon Capricorn, the second back-to-back full moon Capricorns. If you don't know what I mean, go back to the last moon cycle readings of full moon Capricorn, and then stay tuned, because the next readings out are also going to be full moon Capricorn. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes up for the collective. I cannot wait. But for the rest of the night, for me at least, it's X-Files. So cheers to you. I really hope that you enjoyed this and are enjoying yourself and your life and getting all the goodness in terms of activations. Check the description box again if there's anything you need from me that's not in there. Please just leave it in the comment section. Email me if you need anything in terms of bookings or business inquiries. I love you so much, and I will see you on your next reading.